Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 3 filtering data. This chapter is divided into 3 lessons: filtering data, comparison operators, and the last lesson logical operators. So in this lesson we are going to learn how to filter data. In the previous lessons we learned how to write a basic select statement that contains two clauses, the select clause and the from clause. The select clause where you specify the column list, and from clause where you specify the table or the tables containing those columns. Here we will extend our select statement to include the filtration clause. For example, if you have here a table that contains the employee's information, here we have the employee last name, the job ID, and the department ID. So let's assume that we don't want to retain all employees. We want only to retain the employees working on department 80. So in this case, we have to filter the output to retain only the employees working on department 80. So here is the syntax of extending our basic select statement. So as we can see, this is the select clause where you specify the column list. This is the from clause where you specify the tables containing those columns. And this is a new clause, which is the where clause, where you specify here the condition or the logical expression. So the rows that are retained can be filtered by using the where clause. A where clause contains a condition. If the condition here retains true, the record will be retained as a final output. If the condition retains false, the record will be discarded. A where clause comes directly after the from clause. So the where clause follows exactly the from clause. Let's have a look at this example. Here, as we can see, we want to retain the last name, the job ID, the department ID for all employees working in department number 80. So here, select last name, job ID, department ID from table employees, and the condition is where department ID equal 80. So here we are searching for department number 80. This is a number. And this is the output after running the select statement. As we can see, the department ID of all retained employees is 80. Let's take another example. Here select region underscore ID, comma region underscore name from table regions, where region underscore name equal Europe. Here we are searching for a string. When you are searching for a string or character, you have to enclose the character or string in single quotation mark, as we can see here. Let's assume that this is the data stored in the regions table. These are all records in the regions table, and we want to retain only the region ID and region name, where the region name equal Europe. So as we can see, the select statement here retains only one record. The region ID is 1 and the region name, as we can see, is Europe. When you are searching for a character or when you are searching for a string in the database or in the table, it is case sensitive. So as we can see here, the region name stored as capital E. And here when we write our where condition, where region underscore name equal Europe, we put here a capital E. If you try to put here a small e, the select statement retains nothing, as we can see. No rows retained. So if you are searching for characters, you need to know how the characters stored in the table or in the database. Is it capital or is it small? If it is capital, you have to provide capital during the search. So here we have capital E, and we put here during the search capital E. If it is small, if it is stored as small e, not capital E, during the search, instead of putting capital E, you have to put small e. So you have to follow the same case of the characters stored in the table. If it is capital, you have to search in capital. If it is small, you have to search in small letter. So keep in mind these two notes. Character string are enclosed with single quotation marks. So when you search for characters, you have to put here, as we can see, single quotation marks and then your characters or string. And the second note, character values are case sensitive. If you are searching for characters, you need to know how the characters stored in the table or in the database. If it is small letter, you have to search in small letter. If it is capital, you have to search in capital. You have to follow the same case as the data or as the string stored in the table or in the database. So if we want to search, for example, on Asia, you can put here, instead of Europe, capital A and then Asia. You have to follow the same case as the characters stored in the table or in the database. Here select last underscore name, job ID, department ID, hire date from table employees, where hire date equal 21 of June 2007. Also, when you are searching for date, you have to enclose the date in single quotation mark. During searching date, you have to follow a specific date format. Date values are format sensitive. So if you are searching for characters, it is case sensitive. If you are searching for date, it is format sensitive. You have to put a specific format here. You have to put the day, then the month, 3 characters abbreviation or full month, then the year. You can put 2 digits year or full year, as in this example 2007. You can put 07 or 2007. Here you can put 3 characters abbreviation for the month, or you can put June, for example June, and here you have to put the day. So you have to follow a specific format during searching on date. You have to put first the day, then the month, either 3 characters abbreviation or full month, and then the year, either 2 digits year or full year, for example 07 or 2007. So after running this select statement, it retains the last name, the job ID, the department ID, and the hire date for all employees, where the hire date is 21 June 2007. As we can see, the hire date of these employees is 21 June 2007. The display format for the day is DDMONRR. So this is the display format, DD and 3 characters abbreviation for the month, and then RR or 2 digits representing the year. So this is the default display format for the date. So you have to keep in mind these 3 notes. Date values are format sensitive. That means if you are searching for a date, you have to follow a specific format. You have to put the day, then the month, 3 characters abbreviation or full month, and then 2 digits representing the year, or you can put the full year. The third note here, the default date display format is DDMONRR. As we can see here, the default display format for the date is day, 2 digits, month, 3 characters abbreviation, and 2 digits representing the year, which is in this case 07. The second note here, Oracle database store dates in an internal numeric format, representing century, year, month, day, hours, minutes, and also seconds. Even the display format is only display the day, the month, and the year. The date stored internally in numeric format, representing the century, the year, the month, the day, the hours, the minutes, and also the seconds. In later chapters, we will learn how to display the hours, the minutes, and the seconds from the date. Here in the last example, select last name, job ID, department ID, hire date from table employees, where hire underscore date equal June-21-2007. If you try to run this select statement, as we can see, it retains an error. A non-numeric character was found where a numeric was expected. So as we said before, when you search for a date, you have to follow a specific date format. You have to put first the day in digits, and then the month, 3 characters abbreviation or full month, and then the year. You can put 2 digits year or the full year, for example 2007. Here we put a character, which is a month. He is expecting here a digit that represent the day, and we put here a character that represents the month. That's why it returns an error. A non-numeric character was found. This is a character, not a number. He is expecting here a number that represents the day. That's why it returns an error. So in this lesson, we learn how to extend our select statement to include the filtration clause, which is the where clause. I hope this video was informative for you, and thank you for watching.